It was just another Monday morning at the office, the kind where people rushed in with coffee in one hand and their phones in the other, juggling emails and schedules before they even sat down. But that day, something, or rather someone, was different. A new janitor had started working at the company. He was an older man, probably in his late 50s, with silver hair and kind eyes that seemed to notice everything. His name tag read, Tom. He wore a faded blue uniform and moved with a quiet humility that made him almost invisible to most people. But not to me. I'd always been curious about people, and something about Tom stood out. He wasn't like the other janitors. For one, he seemed unusually attentive, not just to his work but to the people around him. He'd pause to hold the door open for someone, help an intern struggling with a box of supplies, or quietly pick up papers someone had carelessly dropped. He never said much, just smiled and nodded. Most people barely acknowledged him. Some even treated him poorly. I saw one manager snap at him for cleaning too slowly in the break room. Another employee ignored him when he offered to help fix a wobbling chair. It bothered me, but Tom never seemed fazed. He just kept working, always with that same calm demeanor. Over the next few weeks, I noticed Tom wasn't just cleaning, he was observing. He'd linger in the break room while people chatted, subtly listening to their complaints about work. He'd pass by meeting rooms and glance at the presentations being given. It was almost like he was studying the company and the people in it. One day, I decided to talk to him. "Hey Tom," I said as he was wiping down a table in the break room. "How's it going?" He looked up and smiled. "Oh, can't complain, just doing my part to keep things running smoothly." "You're always so calm," I said. "How do you do it?" He chuckled. "Let's just say I've seen enough in life to know what really matters." I wanted to ask more, but he excused himself to go clean another area. That conversation stuck with me, though. There was something about Tom, something I couldn't quite put my finger on. Then came the company's quarterly town hall meeting. Everyone was gathered in the large conference room, grumbling about having to sit through another round of corporate updates. The CEO, Mr. Harrison, was supposed to give a speech, but as the clock ticked past the start time, he was nowhere to be seen. Suddenly, the door opened, and Tom walked in. At first, people barely noticed him, but then he walked to the front of the room, stood at the podium, and removed his janitor's cap. There was a collective gasp as he straightened up, his humble posture replaced with commanding confidence. "Good morning, everyone," he said, his voice firm yet warm. "I know you were expecting Mr. Harrison, but, well, here I am." The room fell silent. Some people whispered, confused. Others stared, wide-eyed. He continued, "For those of you who don't know, I'm Thomas Harrison. Yes, that Harrison, the founder and CEO of this company." You could have heard a pin drop. People were in shock, their faces a mix of disbelief and embarrassment. Tom, or rather Mr. Harrison, smiled. "I've been working here undercover for the past month as a janitor. I wanted to see how this company really operates, not just in the boardroom, but in the day-to-day lives of the people who make it run." He paused, letting his words sink in. "What I saw was eye-opening. Some of you were kind and respectful, treating me as an equal despite my uniform. But others, well, let's just say I learned a lot about how people treat those they think are beneath them." I felt my stomach drop, remembering the times I'd seen people dismiss him. Judging by the uncomfortable shifting in seats, I wasn't the only one feeling that way. "I didn't do this to embarrass anyone," he said, his tone softening. "I did it because I believe a company is only as strong as its people, and how we treat each other matters. A lot." He went on to announce changes he planned to make: better support for lower-level employees, new training programs for managers, and a renewed focus on respect and collaboration. By the time he finished, the room erupted into applause. As he stepped down from the podium, he caught my eye and winked. It was a small gesture, but it said everything. That day changed the company forever. And it changed me, too. I realized that you never really know who someone is or what they've been through. Kindness and respect should be given freely, to everyone, no matter their title or uniform, because, as Mr. Harrison proved, the most unassuming people can hold the most surprising power.